All of them looking over when your sister, dressed in a super expensive outfit that costs more than your ride, says she's bumping your rent up to $6,800. She stands there like a boss at a big event, her drink glass shining under the fancy light, grin super steady, words cool and mean. She really thought she'd just given me a big lesson, that she'd finally pushed the not-so-great daughter back where she belongs. What she didn't get was that in 20 minutes, all she believed about control, relatives, and who owns what was going to blow up. If you've ever been looked down on by someone with your same family name, this tale is for you. Because sometimes waiting isn't being weak. It's a smart plan for the right moment. Being raised as Sarah's little sister felt like being stuck in someone else's prize shelf. She was the star from the start. Top school law grad with honors. A big boss at 35. The perfect example of what our family wanted. The endless cheers for her showed there was no spot left for me. I was the quiet kid, the helpful one, the one they called nice at get-togethers when they couldn't think of more. "Did you hear Sarah sealed a $10 million deal?" Aunt Lily would say, all excited. Then the sad switch. Always that same head turn to me. "And Mia, you're still doing that building stuff, right?" Yeah, I was still doing that building stuff, and I liked it a lot. I liked checking out areas, figuring out chances like puzzle bits, going through old broken places, and spotting their worth before others. But liking it didn't mean fancy status at our meals. Sarah's wins were the warning story. For 5 years, I rented a 2-room spot in one of Nana's older places on the River Road. Sarah handled it for the family for free, or so she told us all the time. My rent was $200 below normal. To $200 normal, $2,400, her kindness was just $200 of show-off points. "Most folks with your pay couldn't stay in this spot," she'd say, throwing that know-it-all grin like pennies in a jar, and I trusted her for ages. I paid on time each month, even when the warmth quit in winter. Even when she took 3 months to fix a machine that flooded my cooking area, I didn't whine. In her story, I was the thankful backup who never moved up. But 3 years before that Tuesday evening, Nana switched it all. Every Sunday afternoon before she went away, I sat at her eating spot sorting her money papers. She was 87, still super smart, but she let me handle the thick reports the money place sent her. The two of us with piles of brown folders. That's one of my best memories. One night, the sky going purple behind her pretty window covers, she gave me a little white card, edges worn from years in her bag. "Your sister tries to be good," she said softly, "but she doesn't spot it all. Sometimes the quiet folks are the cleverest. Mia, keep that in mind when the moment hits." I had no idea what she meant. Not back then. A few months later, after her goodbye event, I learned her own lawyer, the one Sarah didn't even know about, called me alone. Nana had given me a special gift away from the family stuff. Nothing showy, but enough to start a buy, enough to change the family order. The next 2 years were my big change time. While Sarah kept telling me to be grown up and on my own, I was learning market rules late at night, checking deals, making spots under a fresh new group name. River Spot Group. I quit waiting for okay from others. I started making my own power. By then, I'd found out from open papers that Nana's old place, the one I stayed in, was in big trouble with owed money. The owner, different from Nana's stuff now, was super eager to sell. He needed to get rid of it quietly before they took it. So, I gave him a deal. The exact, totally okay deal with my gift money, my saved cash, and a work loan. I got the loan okay, he said yes. And just like that, through River Spot Group, I became the real owner and boss of the place my sister thought she ran. Sarah never saw it. She was too caught up in her own shine to look at the owner list. She still came to family meets, showing off about handling Nana's things, taking a nice pay for work I'd already made easy. For 3 years, she took fake praise while I quietly took real rent money. The funny part kept me going more than any win. Then came the evening. Nana's sitting room. Relatives. Food plates gone. Drink glasses full again. Sarah standing by the window like a decider about to say the punishment. "Your rent now is $2,200, which is way under normal." Similar spots on the River Road go for between $6,500 and $7,000. I've been helping your way of life for 5 years. That's over $200,000 from my own stuff. She said it with pride, like being super good came with lists. Aunt Zoe made a surprised sound like Sarah had made it through a boat crash. Sarah, you're so good. Sarah lifted her thin hand. Please. No cheers. I just want things fair. Mia needs to learn to stand on her own. So starting next month, your rent is $6,800. The silence was so thick you could hear a spoon drop on the rug. All eyes were on me, the failure, the one who needed help. I looked at my parents, hoping for some sign of support, but they just turned away, looking guilty and sad. Sarah slid the rent papers across the low table like it was a major decision. Sign it now. I looked down at the papers, then at my phone. My earlier note flashed. On my way. Papers set. The answer was right there, just 15 minutes away. Sarah mistook my calm for surrender. To make everyone understand, she tapped her device. Here, similar apartments in nearby buildings. $7,200, $7,200, $7,500, then $8,000. I'm giving her a deal at $6,800. My phone buzzed again. 10 minutes away. Uncle Ben cleared his throat. Sarah, that's a big jump from $2,200. Sarah's grin got tighter. It's the normal rate. Winning. Folks pay normal rate, and Mia works in building care. No one should get this. Better than her. A bunch of laughs went around the room. Cousin Alex smiled big. Guess you'll need some roommates. Mia, I could almost feel their fun like buzz in the air. The left-out sister finally brought low. Sarah leaned close, her words super sweet like candy. Sign the paper or start boxing stuff. I've already got 3 top school law kids ready to pay $7,000. Her warning hung like bad smell, and yet I almost felt bad for her. She had no clue she'd just given herself a kick-out note because the place she thought she owned, ran and bossed, every bit of it, every stone, every window part, every rent note was mine. And tonight, in front of our whole family, I was about to show it. The bell rang, right on time. Sarah sighed, not happy. Who comes over without saying on a Tuesday? I stood up, fixing my shirt, heart super steady. Thin pairs of eyes watched me go to the door. When I opened it, a tall guy in a sharp gray outfit stepped in, holding a leather bag. Good evening, he said evenly. I turned to the room. Everyone. This is Mr. Hayes. Sarah's brow went up. Your lawyer? She laughed mean. Actually, I said smooth. He works for Riverspot Group. Mr. Hayes put his bag on the closest table, opened it and started giving out same, neat paper packs. His voice was calm but in charge, the kind that makes folks sit up straight. Good evening. I'm here for the owner group of this place. Riverspot. He waited just enough for the name to hit. We have new papers about the renter deals for this place. A wave of mix-up spread on every face. Sarah's fake sureness shook, her boss act gone fast. She frowned, fixed her already good jacket, and asked what everyone else wanted to. Wait, she said. What? Renters? What is this? I run this place. Mr. Hayes fixed his glasses with skill. Not anymore. Miss Sarah Riverspot bought this place 3 years ago. I'm here tonight for the owner to fix some wrong things in the running. Sarah's face started losing color. That's not possible. I would have known. About any cell, I would have been told. I stepped up, my voice steady but loud for every relative to hear. You weren't told because you were never the owner. Sarah, you were just the runner, and you didn't know because you never checked open records. You were too busy telling me about being on my own to see I'd been making my base right under you. Whispers popped up like little bangs. Cousin Alex said under breath, Wait, what the heck is going on? My mom, Clara's eyes got big with surprise. My dad, Tom's mouth really dropped open. Sarah turned to Mad, breaking through her surprise like a storm. You're making it up. This is some mean trick. Mr. Hayes opened his bag and put a thick pile of papers on Nana's old low table with a noise that echoed in the now quiet room. Owner papers. Payslips, fixed permits, safety plans. His voice was clear, work-like and crushing, all signed by the same person, Mia. Thompson is the only owner of this place and has been for 3 years. The room went totally quiet. Even Nana's old clock seemed to stop mid-sound. Sarah stepped back like she'd been hit. No, this can't be. This isn't true. I looked her right in the eyes, and for the first time as a grown-up, I didn't look away first. You just tried to make my rent 3 times on a place that isn't even yours. You tried to kick me out of my own spot, Sarah, and you did it in front of everyone, thinking you'd finally put me down for good. The quiet broke with lots of mixed reactions. Aunt Zoe whispered, "Oh my gosh." My dad cleared his throat, moving uneasy in his seat. My mom's drink glass shook in her hand. Sarah shook her head hard, her perfect cool falling apart like a card tower. "This isn't fair. You fooled me." "You know, Sarah." My voice was stronger now, tougher than ever in this room. "I didn't fool you. I just stopped letting you fool me. I stopped taking your idea of who I was meant to be." She opened her mouth again, but no words came. The control she had used so easy, so mean, had gone from her hands in a flash. For the first time in my life, I wasn't the ignored sister. I wasn't the low achiever, the help case, the one who needed her gifts. I was the one holding the owner paper, but I wasn't done. "Mr. Hayes," I said, my voice with new boss feel that surprised even me. "Could you please tell my sister her living spot now?" The lawyer looked at his papers with work cool. "Sure. Miss Sarah Thompson now stays in spot 4 under a month-by-month deal. As a renter of River Spot, she's under the same rent rules as any other person." The surprised sound from the room was sharp, almost like a show. Sarah stepped back like hit by a bolt. "My spot?" she said, scared. I crossed my arms, years of bad feelings making my words sharp like tools. "Yes, Sarah, you raised my rent in a place where you're just another renter. Do you get it now? While you were busy showing off being better for everyone here, you were really showing off for your boss." Aunt Rose whispered something like a wish. Uncle Sam said something about payback quietly. My cousin Alex, for once in his full-of-himself life, kept his mouth shut. Sarah's cool didn't. "Just break. It broke all the way. This isn't possible. I won't pay you. Anything. I'll take you to court. You'll pay or you'll go." I stopped her, my voice steady like rock. "The same pick you so nicely gave me 5 minutes. Haga, the normal rate for your spot is really $7,500. I've been giving you a family deal at $500. But since you think family deals are bad for work, I let the idea stay in the air." She looked around the room in need, looking for help that wouldn't come. My parents sat still, finally not able to protect their star kid from results. My relatives suddenly looked at their feet a lot. For the first time in 32 years, they couldn't help her because she wasn't the hurt one anymore. I leaned closer, making my voice low so only she could hear, though I knew everyone was trying to listen. "You thought you could smash me in front of all. You thought you could make me feel bad one last time. But here's the real deal. Sarah, while you were busy trying to get above me, I was already up higher than you ever knew." Her lips shook like a kid's. "You're being mean." "No," I whispered back, feeling years of held-back power in my words. "I'm finally done being your target." Mr. Hayes closed his bag with a click that sounded like a hammer hit. "That ends my work for tonight. Miss Thompson, you have my number if you need more." He shook my hand with real respect, nodded to the shocked group, and left. The quiet after was super loud in how full it was. Sarah fell back into her seat, her once perfect sit broken, her eyes shiny with surprise, and maybe the first real being humble in her grown life. I turned to the door, feeling the heavy load of 15 years of being put down, finally slipping off like an old jacket I didn't need. I didn't need their cheers. I didn't need their okay or their yes. The look on my sister's white face, the total quiet of those who had once laughed with her at me. That was enough. That was all. As I stepped into the cool night breeze, I got something deep. Getting back wasn't my goal when I bought that place. Staying alive had been independence, feeling good about me. But sometimes staying alive turns into its own kind of perfect fair play. The weeks after were a bunch of results I'd never thought of. Sarah stayed away from me at first, going into quiet that felt like a win every day. But then the calls came, begging ones at weird times, her voice shaking in ways that were once not possible. "Mia, can we figure something?" she asked one night, her star sureness broken like a smashed mirror. "You can't really want me to pay rent to you. I'm your sister." I almost laughed. The same sister who'd used that word like a weapon for years, swinging it like a stick to tell me I was less, weaker, more needy. Now she said it like a cover, weak and see-through. "You bumped rent to $6,800 without thinking." I told her calm. "Why should I do different than you did to me?" Her quiet on the phone was enough. Then came my parents. My mom called, her voice weak with held-in mad. "You've made your sister look bad, Mia. Do you know what you've done to this family's name?" I let her words stay for a bit before saying back. "Do you know what you did to me, Mom? All those years you stood there while Sarah put me down. While she treated me like a load instead of family. You didn't care about name then. You cared about keeping things good with your star kid. Now, the truth is just the truth." She hung up on me, but I didn't cry. I didn't fall apart like I would have years back. Instead, I got into the flow of my new life. I took care of my renters with kindness and care. I put money back into fixing the place, painting the paths in cozy colors that made me think of Nana's soft way. When folks nearby stopped me to say thanks for fixing stuff Sarah had ignored for years, I felt good feelings grow in me like sun one evening. As I was locking the front after talking with a worker about new watch cameras, I saw Sarah standing on the walk. Her arms were crossed, her face light under the street glow, and she looked smaller somehow, less in a way not about body. She didn't say anything first, just looked at me like she was hunting for the sister who used to get small when she talked loud. Finally, she whispered, "You've changed, Mia." I met her look without backing, without the old want to turn away first. "No, Sarah, I've just stopped letting you run the tale." She blinked like the words hurt more than any mad could. She opened her mouth to fight, to push, to bring back some bit of her old control, but nothing came. She turned and walked off, her fancy shoes clicking on the ground, the sound going away into the dark like the leftover of all she used to mean to me. I stood there for a while, breathing the calm. For the first time in years, I felt really free, not just from her, but from the heavy push of needing her okay, her yes, her go-ahead to be the same. My life was mine now, built stone by stone, paper by paper, pick by pick, and that free feeling was worth more than any getting back could be. It was fair play done by my own hands, and it felt like a win. If this tale hit something deep in you, I hope you keep this real bit with you. You're not made by the words that try to make you small. You are not stuck to the parts others push on you. Sometimes the best power you'll ever take is the brave to own your tale and stand big in it, no matter who tries to knock you down.